SAFA, South African Fumbling Association, because there have been so many fumbles. There are a litany of fumbles that they can come from Cape to Cairo.
Breaking news to you.
In sickness and health, Pastor, remove that sickness. Why do you put poor and sickness there? Remove the sickness.
Hello, Ostrich. Relax. Yeah.
Welcome to the Betway Premiership Preview Show, Bafana Bafana edition. So, on Friday, Bafana Bafana played against Zimbabwe. It ended in a goalless draw, and that basically put us in a slightly precarious situation where now we have to win against Rwanda on Tuesday. So, njengenjwayelo, it is the Betway Premiership Preview Show. Anghambi ngedwa, ngihamba no Njomane, the Bright Star, Brighton Wakamhlongo, as well as Umalume, BBK, Waka Kurt Jazz.
Gorgeous to the ladies.
Gorgeous, yes.
I'd say here today. I was shine more wet.
No, I'm sure this is... Of course! Who shot to Sky Shabalala? That would be the complete, that would be the complete team. But for now, I haven't seen you guys in so long.
Hey, it's been a minute, eh?
It's been...
But I saw you in the biggest newspaper on Sunday, on the front page. I was on the front page of the Sunday Times.
Guning, ne?
Mano, everything a double.
Anyway, gentlemen, let's go back to Friday. We played against Zimbabwe. A lot of people almost said certainly 3 points, but as you and I know, the three of us, Zimbabwe is not an easy team for us to play against, purely based on the fact that half of the squad plays in South Africa. So they know us very, very well. What happened on Friday that resulted in us not getting the 3 points? Because we had plenty of opportunities.
Kuluma Njoman.
Hey, you know, Mpo, we can say a lot, right? But it all boils down to the whole situation of being docked points. I personally, you know, been in situations where, as a footballer, before you go into the field of play, despite the fact that you've done so well, you know, you play, you accumulate points, and then there's a protest. Whether you win it or you don't win the protest, whether there were sanctions or not, psychologically, you are done. You are done. You go to any game, that alone, you'll hear someone last minute saying, gents, let's go. We don't know what's happening. But at the back of your mind, there'll always be that thing with chances are that this might mess us up. We might not go through this and that after all the hard work. I personally feel I could see the faces of the gents. I could see the body language. Yeah. It was so tense for them, you know, and I could attribute that to all of that. Yes, Zimbabwe, they showed up. Yes, your Washington Arubis, I believe Malume will add more on this one. But personally, I feel like that was the whole issue.
Yeah, mentality.
Just mentally, the boys were just messed up after the whole thing.
From a player's point of view. From a journalism point of view, I've written so many stories of SAFA messing up. SAFA, South African Fumbling Association, because there have been so many fumbles. There are a litany of fumbles that they can come from Cape to Cairo. But here, we're going into a game against Bafana Light. I mean, the Brave Warriors. Right? So they know us like the back of our hands.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to the last line of the Brave Warriors, the last line of defense, Washington Arubi. We all saw what he did.
Yes.
We all saw what he did against Sundowns in the Carling Cup. But over and above that, the atmosphere was thick with tension. It was pregnant with tension. You could cut it with a knife.
Half and half in terms of the attendance.
Number one, that guy should have VTEC'd away from the team. The team manager, right? He should have VTEC'd away. He should not have been there. Because just his presence, seeing him, I think, would have triggered the players. Number two, so because we know we need a victory, Paul, like you say, from the opening, we then go to the game, we want to be the hero. Right? We should have Yes, Tina Teno, we don't need another hero. We should have adopted that. Like, don't want to be the one who's going to get us out of this, right? Sipo, great game. When you consider where he comes from, when you consider how he's played in the Lesotho and the Nigeria games, he had an outstanding game. Even the coach says that. But don't want to be a hero. Of course, we hit the post twice. That's going to be a challenge. You cannot. The rub of the green just did not go our way. But I want to emphasize this. We should not even be having this conversation.
Sadly.
We should not even be.
Sadly.
But we are.
Yeah.
Which then means, Uguti, what do we do?
But you see, when you're talking about players who want to shine, I see you're talking about Lyle Foster. You're talking about Usipho Mbule, who had an exceptional game.
Yes.
Utebogo Mokoena seemed like he wanted to hide most of the game. There
I
was an
see.
incident where he had
The
a
free kick.
The free kick. For me, that was a Tebogo Mokoena free kick. But he chose to back away from it. So when you have a player that's already almost seeming as though he wants to hide away, what are we going into Tuesday with?
You know,
So right today, you're thinking.
he was in a very dictionary.
Precarious.
Oh, hey, you on it?
Precarious.
Precarious situation there.
Yeah.
Because, look, he's been blamed.
I hope he's not blaming
know,
himself because it's not his fault.
And for you know, Utebza is one person that I know for sure that he's a very humble player. He's very grounded, you know, humility and everything. But he cares a lot, you know, to a point that when people started saying all these things, and unfortunately there was the post when he posted that picture where it's like he was yawning, the timing of it, people questioned the post.
Yes, yeah.
And it's not even that. And now, remember, Debo is still young, you know, and now he's in a situation where the weight of all of this, emo,
We
and he's
could
thinking,
or could not based off of.
Sure.
Yeah.
And now when he gets into that situation, it's a matter of, let me execute what I need to do.
Yeah.
Let me do my job. But I'm not going to
Put my hand up.
overextend and
Yeah.
put my hand up because already I'm dealing with a lot. And then, guys, let's not forget what is Zimbabwe and I, they were like, you know, those neighbors who are invited, we party. I'm in Alemyang, la P18, la pan. I think
They were
guys,
so
too
they wanted
happy
to spoil
though.
the whole thing.
They wanted to be spoiled sport, but let's not forget, they have no chance of going to the World Cup, but for them it's also important. These are 180 minutes, 2 matches for them to prepare for, that which they've qualified
So
for,
ni
the
prepara ngathi?
AFCON.
So ni
2025.
prepara ngathi? No,
As Malum, I phenomenal me face and the chase. Msazobuya leli chase. Nginenkinga leli chase. Yabona lama boy fish ngiyathanda ngoba sibuya khona
Kasi flavor say right.
Yeah.
la
Kulales jive, ne?
hey
Kulales
malume
jive,
kule
ne?
viki siyakulona liyangiphazamisa
Speaking of that, yes.
sorry malume.
There's also a bone to pick with Hugo Broos.
Okay.
When you look at the 11,
Yeah.
if you're going to have a Tebza and you have a Naubas, you want goals. You want to win. Between an Naubas and a Talent Mbata, when you're looking at the return of goals, when you're looking at you want these goals, you want somebody who can be able to shoot there.
Yeah.
Hindsight is always the best science,
Of
of
course.
course.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you think, if I were making that, I would have started with Mbata. You know, but then you wanted to say something.
So moving forward,
Yeah.
we are talking about that infamous jersey and
Yes.
permutations, and
Yes.
that
Yeesh.
on that incident we got the permutations
yes.
wrong.
Wavele washisa.
So the
Iyajuluka, man.
permutations.
Iyangijulukisa le nto yeBafana, man.
The permutations now is that going into tomorrow, South Africa will qualify for the World Cup should we defeat Rwanda and
Yes.
Benin loses to Nigeria.
Yeah.
However, Benin will qualify for the World Cup should they win against Nigeria.
Yeah.
They could also qualify with a draw should South Africa fail to win against Rwanda. Nigeria, however, still in with a chance, third on the log standings. They will qualify should they defeat Benin and South Africa fail to win against Rwanda. But
Damn.
they have to beat Benin by 3 or more goals.
Wait. Iyangidida phela.
Calculators.
Phela phantom 4.
Quadruple ayikho la. Ayikho
Phantom 4
quadruple.
is a load. So,
Yeah.
Because I'm wearing green right now because brothers no wahala. I'm friends.
We need a favor
The
from
Eagles have landed,
And
but
we
now
need a favor
I
from
thought
them.
that we get a favor from them.
Yeah.
Also, we win. It helps, but us winning, it cripples the Eagles.
Yes, because if they win, it
Yeah.
has to be at least 3 goals or more, because
Okay.
based on goal difference.
Oh,
right?
it's still within their hands if we
It
win.
is within their hands if we
So us winning doesn't cripple them at all.
You guys are perambulating on the outskirts of veracity. Here's
Yeah.
the deal.
No, we can't win. For Nigeria to go through, we have to lose.
No, we have to lose to
We
Benin.
have to lose for them.
We have
go
to lose to
through.
Rwanda.
So both of these teams, for them to go through, we have to lose.
So
Except for
the
Benin.
draw against Zimbabwe
Hey.
and the victory in Nigeria against Lesotho, Epulugwan, brings Nigeria back into the equation. It takes them to 14 points.
Which is why they were pushing
1
for
point
the
behind
sanction.
Bafana,
Yeah.
who are 2 points behind Benin. So in Uyo, at God's Power, God's Will Stadium, whatever the case is, God, oh, please, oh, we need to get Nigeria to win, right?
Yeah.
They beat Benin.
Yes.
For
And
them
then-
to be able to win the group, they need to beat Benin by goals, and they do not
Yes.
concede.
Yes.
And they need us to lose to Rwanda.
Yes.
For
I
us
see.
to go through, we
They
need to
have to
beat
beat.
Rwanda.
Yes.
Nigeria must beat Benin.
So we need them.
Simple. Then
Whichever way you
we,
slice it,
So
we need them.
we need them, which is great. And this is a strange twist of fate. You know the history between South Africa and
Of
Nigeria.
course.
1996, Nigeria, South Africa, Mandela, Sani Abacha. What was happening with Ken Saro-Wiwa and the Ogoni people and the Shell?
Yeah.
Nigeria, Madiba is fighting Abacha. He is a dictator. Abacha says Nigeria is not coming. We win. So Nigeria have never ever recognized us as African champions. They said we did so because they were not there. It has spilled over the years to what we are now.
On that note, can I bring in a spanner in the works?
Sure.
Yeah?
With Nigeria being in such a precarious situation where they also need us to lose against Rwanda for them to go through. What if they decide, if we're not going through, these Ogas are also not going
I
through?
bet you on my last rant,
Chineke.
on my children's lives, I tell you what, on my father's grave, Nigeria are never going to throw a match. Those players for Nigeria, they want to find themselves in the World Cup. That coach of Nigeria, Nigeria, remember he was coaching Mali.
Yes.
at
Oh, the
AFCON.
famous vibe.
Umfana wamanzi.
volcano.
Umfana wamanzi, ne?
A volcano erupted.
So, a lot of people did not appreciate him getting the job. And Nigeria has had a high turnover of coaches, right?
Yeah.
Going to this, right? And guess who coaches Benin?
Ranako.
Who is the former coach
Former
of?
Super Eagles coach.
So
And
Nigeria-
he's the one who took them to greater heights.
Nigeria will not want to be shot down by that man.
And Victor Osimhen is back.
Victor Osimhen is back. They're not going to have Lukman. He's suspended for this game. And also, which also helps, speaking of suspensions, guys, there is some favor that is going our way.
Yeah.
2 pivotal players for Rwanda
Rwanda.
are not going to be playing.
Benin.
Their center from no,
For
no, 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 no. I'm talking
No,
about
for
our
Rwanda,
game now.
about our match.
We are
Who's
back
in
to-
Benin?
Yeah, no.
No, Qualifiers.
Forget bona.
Sinenkinga zabo, sinenkinga zethu.
Mina Mafethu, I'm friends. The Eagle has landed. Let me put it
Okay,
that way.
sharp.
Sure.
So who in Benin on Rwanda's side?
We're talking about Johan Rocha.
Uh-huh.
He's not part of the team, and also their central defensive midfielder, Osesiti Almeida.
Okay.
Right? So that is advantage Bafana Bafana. Because when njengomdlali uyaziqala kanjani? Spine.
Spine is
Goalkeeper,
very key.
central defender,
Yeah.
midfielder, and so that gives us but we're talking about Benin here who are going all guns blazing. They are going to want to make sure that they beat Tina. As focusing our eye on the ball. Let us do our
That's the
job on the
worry.
pitch.
That's the worry.
Who's the goalkeeper of Rwanda?
Fiacre Ntwari.
Okay.
From
Don't you think that we
Naturena.
can get those goals?
We can, 100%.
Do you not think we can get those goals?
I
Oh, wait,
totally agree.
wait. Can I be spicy?
Yeah,
Is
sure.
it because he's goalkeeper at Chiefs? Is it because he's goalkeeper?
No. It's got nothing to do with
No,
the
no.
club.
No, it's
It's
got
got
nothing to do with the
everything to
club.
do with the form.
No,
So,
baby,
the Ndwari were TS Galaxy.
Yeah.
2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
That guy was on form. I think he kept 8 clean sheets, which is why Amakosi thought to go see this guy is a good love man for us. But he hasn't had a great of time at Kaizer Chiefs. In fact, all 3 goalkeepers.
No, I needed you to quantify it so that Makosi don't come back to us and say,
No. We don't do clubism. We're talking Bafana Bafana here. We're talking a player who plays for the opposition.
Fantastic.
An opposition that we're playing against. We need the goals.
However, Malume,
However.
his international this campaign rather FIFA he's been good. He's been good to
So
a point that,
Snamnyat.
yes. So it brings us back to Lomboze Noboze but sometimes it's what Malume was saying, go to Tina. Forget about everyone, let's worry about us.
Yes.
It's a very big point, a very solid point.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, yeah, she's
you
in the
get
Bible.
you get
Aye,
to
we
a
are
point where
putting the Bible
you're
back.
worried about umakhelwane, right? While you're worried about the neighbor, ukuthi hey laba mabadliwe ngala ungabheke zakhe indaba kuba nzima uyaqhuzuka serious because now we're playing the game with one ear is a uyo.
We're playing at the exact same
shut
time.
Everything.
Yeah, we're
Shut
playing at the same
everything
time.
because that's where now players are no longer playing the moment of the game. We're playing the occasion, and now the occasion it becomes very detrimental.
Yeah.
Because of issue with Uzo Amafenzi, I celebrate you like, hey, they must have scored that side.
I guess at this particular point, this is where, and I'm going to be a little clubbist,
Right.
but the experience of a Mamelodi Sundowns, their players need to now come through and say, let us not play the occasion, but play the moment, right? A Hugo Broos, a Helman Mkalele, this is when they need to come in and say, guys, this is in our hands. Forget about everyone else. Can we deal with what we need to deal with for the next 90 minutes and get the win?
Here's the conversation among South Africans that I've picked up. There are 2 camps. There's a camp that says, all the better that we shouldn't go to the World Cup. So that we can
Better
deal...
for who?
Whoa, give me a chance. So that we can deal with this fumbling association. So that once and for all, we can have these guys look themselves in the mirror and accept, which I doubt, but hopefully that camp believes that these people can accept that they have messed up, that they've been the enemy from within, and they are the ones who have made sure that they've pulled the rugs from under the feet of
Because when you think
Bafana.
about it, the last time we actually qualified was 2002. That's a
But on the contrary,
Forget the World Cup,
Yeah.
the 2010, because that was on a
That was
simple-
automatic.
But here's my argument. It's something I was saying from a player's point of view. Do not forget that we missed out on 2022 in Qatar.
Yep.
Why? That infamous decision by a referee
Against Ghana.
of Uderuk,
Yeah.
penalty. That penalty took us out there. We had to recover from that. Since Hugo Broos came in, it's been a great journey for Bafana Bafana, the revival of the team looking like they are actually prepared to die on the pitch for us. The players, it is important because part of the team that was there in the first qualification.
But it also started with 2018, Malume.
Yes.
Senegal, the replay. When we had won.
Yes,
I was part
so
of that squad.
we've
when
enjoyed,
we had won.
we've enjoyed that pain, right? We've enjoyed that pain. But now, when you look at these players, those who've been part of this process, this is the last hurrah for them. It could be the final World Cup for them. I'm not going to mention names, but if you know your Bafana, you know some of the players are not going to be the next 4-year cycle. At the same time, you're looking at the work that they've done. When you're looking at Hugo Broos, it is like a full circle for him. He played at the World Cup for Mexico, I think for Belgium, in Mexico in '86. As a player, he would want to go back and close the book, with a team that is qualified for the World Cup, adding to what he has done with Bafana at AFCON, the bronze medal, adding to what he did with Cameroon. So when you look at the players, the technical team, they deserve to claim their place. They're so Lori, as Tabiso with an extra O, like saying, calm down, don't be overzealous, don't be too excited, don't play the occasion, get those goals in.
But what about camp you're talking about the others, the one camp that says maybe if something bad, that will give everyone that wake-up call to say, tools down, but on the other hand, on that side, our SAFA president is being appointed with FIFA. How much of an impact does it have? Are you fighting when left to camp? Are you fighting a losing battle already? That says to you, we have now a president that's been recognized by the mother body, world mother body, whereas you are saying
But
he's
also,
not,
should the country suffer based on?
that's why I get it.
So-
So do you then let this, because now it means this battle you won't win it, and at what expense when you think about it? Ukuthi laba ngcono bahambe and let sizodila naye ngabe address. If it doesn't address,
Danny
so
Jordan's
be it.
being appointed in that FIFA organizing committee for the World Cups, for the men's, the women, the under 20, under 17, and all that. Has got nothing to do with his excellence or supposed excellence in running the organization. It's got nothing to do with that. Everyone gets appointed there. We can be celebrating someone like your Victor Gomes, who's been appointed to the referees committee as well. I think there's something for Chiseka Mutaung to be celebrated there. But we're talking here about the fact that here at home, you have not covered yourself in glory in terms of the administration of the South African football under you. You also have a situation of the small onion, and all of us, we have our small onion skeletons. There's a small onion skeleton going on in the courts, you know. And one of the things that came through, there's a guy who said that he wants SAFA to open their books so that we can see what happened to the monies for the 2010 Legacy Trust Fund, and he's won his case there. So that could be a blessing in disguise, because being part of that committee means a lot of traveling, you know, for the SAFA president. And that could also mean that it does not allow him to stand for another term in office. It should be, if he's honest with himself, he should say, I've had my time, I've served, and can I give somebody else a chance?
So must women
ngadlala sengisangana ikhanda seliduma nami sengimfuna ngithi ngidlala ngigqalaza ngibukana naye kanje ngithi uma ngiphuma la ngiqonda kuyena ke manje uyobambana ngendawana.
So that's why it's Let's come back to the field of play, because the big question now becomes, should we not qualify for the World Cup?
Ngeke stop
Okay,
trying. I get
Okay.
it.
By the unfortunate whatever, if we don't qualify, we still have the matter
You know
of
what
the
you remind me
African
of?
Cup of Nations.
Sorry to interject again. You know what you remind me of? If the pastor says, in sickness and health, pastor, remove that sickness. Why do you put poor and sickness there? Remove the sickness. Remove my friend, in richness and in riches and in health.
Okay,
in
so we
prosperity.
qualify.
Let me ask the congregation, touch your microphone. Touch your microphone, all of you. Say to God, we are going to America. God, we are coming. Donald Trump, we are coming.
So we are going to the World Cup.
Yes, man.
But
You
we
must
also,
win.
after that, still have the issue of, or the matter of the Africa Cup of Nations, where we reached the semi-finals, and this time we'd like to go into the finals, right?
Yes.
So the bar has been set quite high. But when you come back to domestic football, you have the matter of Mamelodi Sundowns at the moment. That's kind of taking. And that has been the bulk of the Bafana Bafana squad. What then happens should Mamelodi Sundowns not be doing as well as we have seen them doing in the past? Does this mean it is time for an Orlando Pirates to put their hands up?
No.
What happens?
I think Coach Hugo Broos has answered that question very exceptionally well.
Tell us, for
In a
those who
sense
might
that-
not have heard.
So, Coach Hugo Broos, when he came into the squad, it was more about rebuilding, right? And he said he needs players who will wear that jersey with pride, who will perform, regardless of where you are, where you come from. Then there was an issue of continuity, consistency and continuity. And that's what took Bafana to greater heights.
Yes.
And within that, he built a pool of players that understood his
I get it.
methodology, you know? And now, with that being said, like for like, he already knows that if Mpoma Boyevich is not there, PBK is already here.
Okay.
You know, so I believe...
It's a PBK beach,
personally-
fair. Long as it's PBK.
That's
My boy,
Sugajovic.
PBK beach.
Hey.
Yeah?
So with that being said, I believe that Sailor, he was not in the squad because he was not training. That's why. But now, because he started training and was back, regardless of the form, it's one of those things that says it's the tried and tested. I already know, and these players already know. We've built a rapport, and everyone understands what needs to be done in terms of methodology. So now, with him having done that, I'm happy with that, because it's more of a cut and paste with him performing wherever club he play for. Vitamin C, they are there. everyone who's performing gets that chance to play at Bafana. So whether Sundowns is not playing, you are rightfully so. Orlando Pirates is raising the hand because now you're seeing the number of players from Orlando Pirates getting the nod. Maybe Chiefs, they want to come back also and start passing the way he wants them to be.
Yeah.
And then you're going to see a number of players from Kaizer Chiefs. But all in total, I think that Hugo Broos
We have a wide enough pool.
Where he says, if I don't have this, and once more, again, he profiles according to the games he's about to play.
Yeah.
He definitely does that. That's why you'd find that one game he had said, no, I'm going to rest in Gezana because I'm going to need his physical ability. I don't need him for Lesotho. He's one card away. I need him for Nigeria. And again, so for me, I'm happy with that personally when I have that kind of coach. So whether Sundowns is picking, in fact, I see a club, but yeah, back on.
So Asizela, I like the fact that you raised Siyabonga Ngezana's name. So he misses the Zimbabwe game because he's suspended.
Yeah.
So that is why he was not part of the squad. But then speaking of suspension, ETLP, ike ngaphambili yathi yellow
Ingubo
card.
zomuntu
Yakangubo second, we are told right? So what do we do? Because Hugo Broos is speaking the same language as Rassie Erasmus.
Yeah.
Both coaches for Bafana and the Springboks talk about a pool of players, like you say. They're speaking of a magic number of 45. Hugo says, I've got 45 players who are ready to do battle for Bafana, as does Rassie Erasmus. So with Mbogazi being out, Utabo Moleisane from Stelis has come into this.
And he has
game.
already played.
He's already played, so he knows what is happening. So you're seeing a CBC, Moleisane, Mutawu, on the left back. But here's the thing. Going back to your question, Mpo, I was talking to Walter, Dr. Walter Steenberg, the former technical.
I thought you were talking about the other Walter.
What do you mean, former technical? Is he not the TD?
No.
No, he.
I'm going to say those fumblers.
Yini, guys.
He's not
What
like
rock am I living in?
Breaking news to you. Okay.
Hello, Ostrich. Relax, Ostrich. So I'm talking to Bra Walter on the show, on Power. Ne? He is the reason why you're seeing our under-17s who are going to go to their World Cup, the under-20s who were at the World Cup. You've seen what is happening with Bafana. And that man needs to be there in that office at Nasrec. Come hell or high water, it needs to happen. So he says to me, because I posed the question, is this thing sustainable of depending heavily on a club, which was Sundowns in the early years of Hugo Broos with Bafana, which is now Pirates and Sundowns going forward, right? And Walter says it is a clever thing that Hugo Broos did, because in the end, when you've got such a high level of players playing at this level of competition, meaning the Confederations Cup and also seeing Sundowns going all the way to the Club World Cup, it gives you an easier infusion.
And it's not unique to South Africa.
It's not unique. You saw Spain, the Spain
Barcelona
that won the World Cup
Madrid,
here. It was Barcelona, majority, Real Madrid, and don't forget Fernando Torres, played for Liverpool. Anyway, I digress. So, but the point he made is that my question, is it sustainable? Says ideally it should not be so heavily dependent. So now also my worry is that there's going to come a day when Hugo Broos leaves. Do we then go back? Because the one thing that Hugo Broos did, he reminded me of Sheikhs Mashaba. You know, Sheikhs, Labantu, what do you call them these days? Intermediaries, agents. Those people had so much influence on previous Bafana coaches, influencing which players should be. We can write documents about that. But Hugo Broos has said, I am here with my technical team. We look at players, we select our thing. So that should continue when Hugo Broos departs. At the same time, I like the fact that you are talking about other teams. No matter you're playing for Pulugu and not TV, what you've seen over in the Pirates and Sundowns in Brighton, you've seen a Stellenbosch. You have to give kudos to what those people from the Winders have been doing. You know, making sure that they show everybody that they are a force to be reckoned with, finishing third, going to the Confederations Cup, finishing in the semi-finals, and you're seeing TS Galaxy as well, Sikukune doing all of that. The more, the merrier, because you are brought in.
I mean, the likes of Bradley Grobler has put up his hand.
Yes, that is another. But again, but in knowledge. I'm talking against the agents influencing the team. At the same time, we, in the media, we as the fans, let the coach do his thing.
Of course.
He falls and succeeds by his selections.
But what I do love is that now we are at a point where players are actually putting up their hands and saying, I am
100%.
going to work hard to
Exactly.
get into that
That
spot
is what
because
you want.
that's what
That
you
is
want.
what you want.
And for me, that is absolutely
My
beautiful.
dad has given,
It's-
it's given us the confidence.
Yes.
And he is not only us as the fans, but even the players.
Of course.
To say, guys, you can say whatever you want. If I don't see you as fit as you think you are to be in part
Work
of this,
for it.
just work and show me. And he's done that
Yeah.
with the Shikabala
There we
when
go.
he changed his mind. So with Lodge also as well, all the names that have been thrown, the sniper, Bradley, you'll never know. All he's saying is keep working.
Yeah.
But right now, let's be honest, guys. The last time we lost an official game and it was via penalties was Nigeria.
Yeah.
And now he's saying, how do I fix the machine if it's not broken?
True.
If these are the soldiers
Absolutely.
that have been working hard and who have convinced me that they the best soldiers that I can take to any war, then why not? So I believe, Guti, right now, personally, everyone just keep working.
Yeah.
Gone are those days where headline A1, now suddenly there's pressure.
True.
Yabo, so
Whether uNkulunkulu wakho uja, whether uAllah, uJesu Kristu noma yini, noma sikholelwe emadlozini cela sithandaze.
Okay, before
Sithandaze
standards.
senze show,
Before
shisa impepho
standards.
senze show ukuthi kusasa siyawuthola utriple.
Before standards.
Okunye nokunye
Can I
sasona.
put you on the spotlight
Yeah.
for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
What's your score prediction? South
Hey,
Africa
mina
against
ngiyawabona amagoli
Rwanda,
amathathu.
Nigeria versus Benin.
I agree with Malume, but I'll
3-0
give it.
Bafana, Nigeria 1-0.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll
Nigeria wins 1-0. Benin iyasala.
Okay, and
Nigeria
then
sala,
Bafana?
thina siyawina 3-0.
Okay.
Malume, manje walwana nabantu ekumele
Yeah, abawina, ngithi bazowina bashaye Benin. Bashaye Benin.
brothers, no ahala.
Oh,
Everything.
No, but he's right. He says
bazoshaya Benin.
Yeah, but
Okay,
ungasakhipha
okay.
lelo gcina ukuthi bayasala.
So,
Hayi, awuthi ngiphuza amanzi. Ayikho
Tell us
lento.
what-
2-0. 2-0 Bafana. Either half will score early goal, second half will kill off the game. We'll win 2-0. We know how to manage games. And
Nigeria,
then
Benin.
In Nigeria, I think they'll win 1-0. It's going to be a hard-fought one. Basiminci sisiminci silentuze sithandaza sishaye yonke lento le sifonelelene Abuja kube yonke lento bavele bathi uqhwashe ngo-Osimhen. Victor Osimhen.
Love it.
That's it.
I would rather not.
Hamba thina.
But we are qualifying.
Ijezi kodwa nali liyasitshela.
We are qualifying. We are
Sibeka
definitely.
siflavor,
No, we're definitely
siyahamba.
qualifying.
We
When
are
we
going
get
to.
there,
Yeah.
we are going to look for Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
Elon ungena mpela.
No, we just want to tell them we are from South Africa.
But not the farmers.
And there's no genocide.
And we're not the
We're
farmers.
just going to tell them
On
there's
that
no
note,
genocide.
gentlemen, thank you very much for the conversation.
I know.
So we're back on the show on Thursday.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. Ngoba nomshengu uzobe
Uzobe
khona.
khona.
Uzobe khona umshengu, sobe sibonda ke.
Yeah.
Ish.
Sobe senza. Sambango.
Akuhamba
On that
ngolaya.
note, thank you very much for staying with us. We'll see you on the Betway Premiership Preview Show on Thursday on Supersport as well as on the Betway YouTube page. Otherwise, yeah. from
Bafana
us-
kaufela.
Rangena. Rangena. Yeah.
Bye.
Jesus Christ. Yes, yes. I am sweating like a bloody dog, man.